the Star2Star presentation that I have up there?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thanks everyone again for joining. So I know we're stepping away from webinars, and you're probably getting webinars like crazy from all of your vendors, but we just came out with some new branding as well as some new features and some new user bundles with new pricing. So I thought it'd be good to just get everyone involved and do a brief overview. And along the way, if you have any questions or concerns or anything that comes up about the products or services, please feel free to interrupt me. Otherwise, we'll get going. So if you're not, I don't know how familiar everyone is with Star2Star, but we do have our two voice options basically. So we've rebranded from our old Star Cloud and Star Cloud Plus, and we're now calling them Business Voice and Business Voice Plus. So the difference is one is a fully hosted solution, and then the Business Voice Plus is our hybrid solution. So the hybrid solution does come with our on-site Starbox, which is our edge traffic shaping device. It's an SD-WAN-like device that we provide and goes on-site. And then we do have the Pure Cloud, which is a fully hosted product as well, now available. So that's recently come on. Add-ons, of course, SD-WAN, 4G failover, contact center, and Advanced Feature Suite available on both options here as well. So what you would get with the hybrid solution, the Starbox, the voice-optimized SD-WAN box, you might ask why you would need a device actually on property. And what that is it controls and prioritizes voice over data traffic. So it sits on the edge of the network and does traffic shaping for voice and data. Does provide better call quality, especially for larger type businesses. Does give great visibility and adaptation to network changes. The box also does have dual WAN ports for automatic WAN failover, which is really nice if you do have two circuits coming in. So if you do have a larger customer, the hybrid option is obviously better for call quality and quality of service. Smaller customers, we can do with a fully hosted solution. And the nice thing is for multi-location, we can mix and match those. So this is just old information I just wanted to re-review with you, which then brings us into our new user bundle. So on either system, every extension or device on the system is going to come with a user license, much like other VoIP providers will provide as well. The difference is we have 4 different options now. So we have 4 user bundles that can be provided for each user depending on business need and what kind of features and functionalities they're looking for. The first tier user, which would be the professional user, includes all of the features that you see here. So for the voice product, you are getting a desktop and mobile soft phone. The receptionist console, which used to be called StarScope, so that's our presence management tool. It's an application that sits right on the desktop where you can click and drag calls to transfer. You can see who's available, who's on calls, who they're on calls with, and there's also a chat feature in there. We also still do offer pooled shared lines for large customers that might not need a one-to-one ratio for call paths to extensions. Find Me, Follow Me, of course, to direct your calls to either landlines or mobile lines or different extensions on the system. Key system emulation and voicemail to email. Each professional user is also going to come with a text messaging capability now. So this is included, all the features here, nothing is an add-on. Text messaging either on the desktop or on your mobile phone. And the nice thing about this is it does go providing your DID. So you can text in and out from your work DID and not have to give out your personal cell phone number. For the professional user, it does support desktop and mobile, 1,000 outbound SMS, and unlimited inbound. This bundle does only support SMS, does not support MMS on the professional user. You are also going to receive a login to what is called our TeamHub. This is on a preview release right now. And what this is a web-based portal that basically brings all of these features together. So almost like a Microsoft Teams, if you will. it's a nice collaboration tool that gives you team messaging, collaboration between internal and external guests, the voice and video meetings, file sharing, and e-faxing are all going to be brought together in this one management tool, basically. So that brings us to the next feature, which is the video meetings, which I was hoping to use today, but like I was telling Carrie, it just was released recently, and they have not released the recording feature yet. So I do have a marketing set coming up in a little bit about it. And the nice thing about the video meetings is it's a browser-based application, so there's no download and no web plugin required. So once you have a login as the user on the Star2Star system, you can invite guests either with your personal meeting ID or a randomly generated ID. And the guest, all they have to do is click on the link, log in with their name as a guest user, and they have access to the video meeting. So they don't need to download, they don't need any separate applications, and you can use it on desktop, tablets, mobile, and use it from anywhere as long as you have an internet connection, basically. So it's a nice collaboration tool because you can use it right from your browser anytime with anyone, and they don't have to go through the hassle of downloading or logging in or creating a login account. And lastly, on the professional user, it's what we're calling our package applications. So employee alerts is going to be included with all of our user bundles. And what this is it's a notification product that you can notify users on the system instantly for either emergency situations or something that you would need to notify your employees of. You know, the office is closed because of XYZ, there's a storm coming, there's an emergency in the office. You can set up call flows through a browser interface and trigger those with certain qualifications. And that's something that you set up in the beginning, and then once you have the call flow created, it's easy to just execute it as needed. So any questions there on the professional user? Nope, I'll keep going then, that's fine. The professional user is offered, MSRP is $16.99, and we do have it offered for $11.99. So for $12 per user, every user on the system is going to receive all of these features with their license. And there's just a little cost analysis between RingCentral and 8x8. We've compared like packages, and we do have the best value for all the features that are included. Next user bundle is going to be our collaboration user. So it includes all of the same features that were on the professional user. But in addition, you'll see the bolded items there are the additional features that you get on the next tier. So in the text messaging application, it's going to include unlimited instead of the 1,000 for outbound. And now you'll also be able to send and receive MMS messaging. In the TeamHub application, you are able to invite up to 5 external guests and collaborators. And we also are allowing up to 3 integrations through app extensions like Office 365, G Suite. In the video meetings, you'll get simultaneous screen sharing now. So it's as easy as logging in and clicking on a little bubble at the bottom to share your screen, and now you can have multiple presenters at the same time. Every collaboration user is also going to come with a digital fax license. So every user on the system will have a 100 pages per month fax license included. It does include templates, and you can send and receive either on your desktop or in your mobile application. And all of these fax licensing will go through the TeamHub, so you'll have everything together in one nice user interface. And then lastly, for the package application, it is going to include CRM integration with click-to-call, screen pop, and call logging for most CRMs. I did explain to Carrie a little bit on our call previously that everything is created by our in-house development team. So if there is something that needs some customization as far as CRM integration or app extensions or something like that, we can do everything right in-house, which is really nice. We don't have to go to a third party to get it done. Normally, the collaboration user will be offered at $16.99 per user, just so you're aware. But for a limited time, because it just was released, we do have a promotion where it's being offered at the $11.99 price. So for the same price as a professional user, you're going to receive all these additional features as well. And we'll see the little cost analysis here as well. And if there's no questions, I'll just move on to the next one. So the next user bundle that we have offered is the customer service user. Again, all of the same features that you receive in the collaboration user. The additions are bolded. So in TeamHub, you do have up to 20 external guests and collaborators instead of the 5, and then unlimited integrations instead of the 3. For the video meetings product, we now have the capability to record the meeting included with simultaneous screen share. So it'll be as easy as clicking to record, and then all your recordings will be available on your web interface there. And then lastly, at the bottom, you'll see what's called Service Insight. So this is what I like to call our contact center light solution for a smaller contact center customer. Reason being, it does offer most of the features of our full contact center without a few key reporting and analytic details. So you do receive the full-featured auto attendant, supervisor display, agent monitoring, post-call review, net promoter score, historical data. So there's a lot of reporting options here. It's just not as robust as the full contact center. So this would be for a smaller customer. And this user bundle is offered at $26.99 per user. So every user will have access to a contact center license and all the features listed here. This can be mixed and matched with the other user bundles if not everyone needs a contact center license, depending on the use case for the business, of course. And then here you'll see our little cost analysis as well. So lastly, the final user bundle is the full contact center user. So you're receiving all of the features that were listed before with the unlimited integrations, up to 20 external guests, MMS and recording meetings. But finally, you're going to get our full contact center solution. So this is a really robust solution that includes advanced ring strategies, queue callbacks. You can have post-call surveys, many advanced reporting and analytics for the supervisors and managers. So this would be for a full service contact center customer. And for this, we are offering it at $66.99 per user. One thing to note is it cannot be mixed and matched with the Service Insight user. So they either have a contact center light or the full contact center version. And if there are some users on the system that don't need a contact center license, that can be mixed and matched in there as well. So do we have any questions on any of the user bundles that were as described there? All right, perfect.
Hey, Matt.
So just to go through, go ahead.
Quick question, Matt. This is Doug. Back on the call center side, I'd just like to say that the call center piece, some of the folks may know about our Star Center 2, which is strictly an inbound call center light, if you will, in comparison. This is a full, robust contact center, meaning it is both inbound and outbound. So this is our new product, our Star Center 3 side. I just wanted to make that point to come across with that as well.
Thank you. And do you want to touch a little bit more on TeamHub as well?
Yeah, I can. TeamHub, which is going to be the collaboration tool that was mentioned, TeamHub is going to allow the SMS messaging, all the things in the bundles that Matt has been going over here, put together in one access point, if you will. So TeamHub is going to be more of a collaboration tool for the end users. So based on what they need to do, they can also, if they're using, let's say, our video meeting as an example, and they want to store papers or video or things that they would present with, things like that, there's going to be personal lockers that they could set this stuff up in, and they can actually store it right there on in TeamHub itself for easy convenience to be able to pull down and use for the different meetings or possibly presentations they may be doing or something like that. So it's got the ability to be able to store the documents and user profiles as well. So it's going to be a very, let's say, user-friendly tool. Just click and go. The other piece of this, too, that I'd like to state here, a lot of the other, let's say, companies out there or communications companies out there, they actually use a lot of third-party tools to be able to integrate CRM applications, to do things like that. All of what Matt is talking about here on our end and what he's going over in these packages is all completely built by Star2Star. We have no third-party integrators, if you will, doing any of or creating any of our tools. So these are all in-house built, all professionally built by our development group. So any issues or any possibility of anything that may not work, we have full control of. There's no finger pointing back and forth. There's none of that. You know, well, you got to tweak it this way. You got to tweak it that way, right? Those types of things that do pop up periodically out there. So again, with this being all in-house built and all our bundles put together, we have full control over everything that we put out, and including anything that has to be updated or anything that gets added to. In other words, any functionalities we add, it's all done by us. Any questions at all? Anybody?
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Can you mix and match everything except for the contact center softwares by user, or is it fixed per account? All business voice plus, you know, so on.
Well, all users that so as an example, they buy the bundle of any of the functionality, right? Depending on which bundle it is, all users have or could have. Let's just say all users could have access to it if it's turned on for them. So it could still be there and not necessarily being used, but in the future it could be because it's part of the license bundle. Yep.
Sorry, yes. And you can mix and match the specific user bundles based on the employee's needs.
Right.
Per customer location. That's correct. The only difference is if you have a contact center set up at one location, whether it's the Service Insight or the contact center, then you have to have that across the board. You can't have, you cannot mix and match those.
That cannot be shared.
And as far as the Business Voice and Business Voice Plus, if you have one location on Voice Plus with the Starbox and they have smaller remote locations as well, those can be on the fully hosted. So those can be mixed and matched per location, just depending on the business needs, the size, the number of extensions, etc. Yes.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so it's basically by location. So the warehouse people would have the same package as the office or the outside sales.
Yes, they can. You know, and if
or they can be just set up as a courtesy phone where they don't have any of the packages in there.
Okay. So there's flexibility. That's kind of what I want.
Yes, there is definitely flexibility. And in addition to these 4 user bundles, we do have what's called the courtesy extension as well, which is basically dial tone in the extension. So no features as far as voicemail or mobile applications, video meetings, etc. If you have common area phones, warehouse phones, anything like that that wouldn't need a full feature set, we do have that available as well. And those can all be mixed and matched, definitely.
Are these limited in outbound calls? Or are you paying for so many minutes, or it's all unlimited?
So go ahead.
Yeah, reasonable use are unlimited.
So the user bundles don't actually have anything to do with the physical call paths. So in addition to the user bundles, you will either have, we have two options. We have a seat model, which is a one-to-one ratio. Every extension receives its own call path. Or we do have a pooled option as well, where the customer can pool a certain number of either unlimited long-distance lines, or we even provide metered lines, depending on the business type. But if you have a customer that has 150 phones, but maybe never more than 10 or 15 users on the phone at the same time, we can provide them with a pooling option to save money so they don't have so many call paths. And the nice thing about that is, even if a customer does pool their lines, and let's pretend they have 10 pooled lines, and an 11th call either comes in or is picked up to go out, they still have the capability of making that call. They just incur some bursting charges or overage charges, basically. So the customer will never receive a busy signal, and that goes to show we have some flexibility there on pricing with the number of call paths involved as well.
You have still variation for customers that have a still business where in the summer they might have a lot of capacity and then the rest of the year less or vice versa. Can you add?
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you too well, Richard. It's very low.
Do you have seasonal variation allowed? For instance, passing at lines for tax season and the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where we'll add lines and then delete the lines off later? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
No. We have done it. It's not a practice that we do, if you will.
Right. And the best thing to do would be, honestly, for a customer that has seasonal variation like that, if they go with the lower number of call paths for most of the year, and then for say a month or two, they're going over and spending some money in overage, it kind of counteracts by the rest of the year not spending the additional money on the lines that are not being used.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, really, it would be based upon the bursting. So if we notice, and Matt's 100% correct in the overage type. So let's say they go over by, they have the 8 lines and they go over by 3 or 4 calls at a specific time, but it's only a couple of months during that time period that they're doing it. If it pays to add one more line to keep that bursting charge down even more, they could definitely do that and still keep that line all season long and still not have to pay a ton of overage, right? So we could balance it. We will work with them to balance that, absolutely.
Yes,
Okay.
and we even offer if they are receiving a lot of, we notice an excessive number of bursting charges or overage charges, for 2, 3, 4 months in a row, we can add lines on and credit them back the difference. So if it's more overage charge than what it would cost to add an additional line, usually we'll add one and credit them back.
Exactly. And then they just keep that one additional line, which helps out quite a bit across the board.
Okay. I put on my headset so you can hear me, actually, hopefully.
Yeah, it's a lot clearer.
Thank you.
I'm trying to lead you into the laptop, so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so I just have a couple more slides. I don't want to PowerPoint everyone to death. Just a couple more slides of some specific marketing flicks on the items that were discussed. So this is a screenshot of what the contact center actually looks like, what a supervisor display would look like. It has a great ease of use, smart insights. Doug, do you want to talk on a couple of touch points on contact center?
Yeah, the key points for the contact center is the agent has a view in. The agent can use a desk phone, or the agent can have what we refer to as a soft phone, a WebRTC phone, which is actually part of the call center package or the contact center. So basically, as an example, We have some agents, some customers that are on this where agents may have a mix. In other words, they may have a desk, like the supervisors may have a desk phone. They log in periodically, but they're agents that are in the queues, daily as their job, right? They use the web phone because they don't really need a desk phone. So it's really a mix of both worlds can be done based upon the customer's needs. And that question has come up a couple different times when we've gone over these packages. So really, I have a choice as a user or as an agent or as a customer to whether or not if my PCs or my desktop or laptops that I have that the agents are using, do they have speakers? Can they use headsets, things like that, or the PC that they're using, can they use speakers on them, or do they have it built in and headsets? If they do, they can definitely use the web phone. That's part of the contact center. And that makes things much more convenient because that agent could actually be remote. They don't need to be tied to a telephone in that case. So given the situation that the customers may have, because a lot of people are working from home, a lot of things have changed with, the environment of which we find ourselves in lately. So these questions seem to come up a lot. So this contact center piece that we have is really very robust all the way down to the supervisor screen that's up on the screen now that Matt has, which allows the supervisors to vary the screen depending on what they actually need to see. So they could see just certain queues. They could look at all the queues. They could see the rolling stats live on those queues, calls coming in, the agents logging in. They can see the amount of length of the calls, everything. So it's very, very robust for anyone throughout the whole side of it, whether it be an agent, whether it be a supervisor, whoever it may be. These screens are all settable by them, what their preference is, what their job scope is, what they need to see. So there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of insight that's utilized, monitoring matrix, alerts that can be set up for the agents. How long has that call been holding, right? I want to be able to see, thresholds I need set for these calls so I could get these calls overflowed to other queues if necessary, things of that nature. So it's very, very intuitive for the end user as well as very robust for callers coming in and different options that can be set up on it. And the beauty of, and one other thing too that I'd like to say about it is it's all portal based, meaning the agents don't have to be on site. They can log in from anywhere. All they have to do is go to the portal. So no downloading of anything. They're actually logging in locally or into our portal to access any part of the supervisors, anybody. Okay?
Perfect. Very good. Thank you, Doug.
Sure.
So the next slide just kind of shows an overview of all the qualities that we just discussed. All of our features. We're trying to provide a robust feature set especially for what's going on today. I know everyone's tired of hearing of challenging times and new normal, but it is what it is. Companies are looking to work from home or work remotely or part-time. So we have the feature set and like to think that we have the value over the competitors on the products and the features that we're offering. I did want to just show this slide here on a preview of what the TeamHub is going to look like. As we said, it is a web-based interface, the collaboration tool that's going to bring all of your features as a user on the system together. So you've got the messaging there, a soft phone, there's file sharing, workflow tools, all available to you as a user on the system. Just a preview of our soft phones. We do have them available for mobile, iOS and Android, as well as on your desktop. You do receive one login to log into the portal where you can manage your own extension on the system, and then you'll get a new extension for each soft phone. and you can have them all ring at the same time, ring in sequential order, ring one at a time, however you have that set up, so that you're able to get, make and receive calls from your business CID on the go or whenever you need, really. Text messaging, available on mobile and desktop. It seems silly to do it on your mobile, but again, it goes out from your your work CID, so you don't have to share your personal cell phone number. Looks just like a typical text messaging application, but you can do everything from your work phone number and not have to give out personal numbers to customers or clients or whatever that might look like for your business. This is a preview of our video meetings product. As I mentioned, it is web-based, so as a user on the system, you will receive a login to that. You'll receive a personal meeting ID, as well as you can generate a random ID for some guests if you don't want to give out the personal. It does have a nice virtual lobby that you can have guests wait in the lobby. You have a touch-to-talk feature, screen sharing. There's a chat feature, so you can chat to the entire group, or you can click on an individual user and send a private chat to them as well while presenting or while speaking. So it's a great video solution, very easy to use and user-friendly. It does provide end-to-end encryption as well. Just a quick slide on the Service Insight feature. So this is the Customer-Centered Lite. It does have a cloud-based deployment. Still receive the supervisor monitoring, queue monitoring, post-call review. So a lot of the features that the full-blown contact center provides as well, just on a little bit of a smaller scale. And platform integrations. Doug, if it's okay, I'm going to let you speak on mass and urgent notification. This way you can give a little bit more of the technical specs of it as well.
Sure. So urgent notification basically is, let's say as an example, you have a school district or school campus, and something that comes up as an emergency can be broadcasted using our emergency response to where a message gets sent out to either parents stating that there was an emergency on campus for whatever reason that might be. Basically, things that have popped up are shootings or intruders on campus, things of that nature. Hopefully not going to happen, but it could. And the responses need to be sent out to parents, police services, any services they may have staff internally that also need to be told of what's going on, things of that nature. So the emergency response side of it can be used in those types of situations. Anything that emergency would do, it could be weather related, tornado warnings, things of that nature. We may have staff or somebody somewhere even in manufacturing facilities that need to be alerted to make sure everybody's aware that there's some type of emergency going on. When that gets sent out, it can also have a link in it that these people can respond. And when they press the link, it just automatically states that they received, sends the response back and automatically states that they received the actual text. So again, there's accountability to be sure that everybody's gotten what they need to do. Mass notification is more of a tool that allows you to say, if I have a doctor's office as an example, and I have appointments set up for Monday at X time, I could set out a mass notification of these appointments, or even a newspaper looking to get more subscriptions or renewals. They could send out mass notification to their people that are on board with them now, or to people, as well as people that they would like to have sign up for the newspaper, those types of things. The real difference between the two is one is for emergency purposes, the other is for just notification purposes, where I may be sending out an ad to existing customer base, things of that nature. Any questions on it? Billing reminders, things like that on mass notification. Any questions, anyone? All good?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And the next slide can be yours too, Doug.
Okay. All right. So this deals with the CRM integrations. Basically, we have the ability to integrate our system to other platforms out there, such as Salesforce, Sugar CRM, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, Zoho, just to name a few. Now, these are ones that we've already tested with, and some others that are out there for, we've created some for Pizza Hut, as an example, to integrate their phones, the phones with the orders that come through and things like that. So there are different types of CRM packages that are still available. We also allow the ability to be able to customize these CRM packages as well. So depending on really what is actually needed, they can be tweaked as well as just used as the standard integrations that we have. And we have a little note on the side that enables integrations between CRM platforms, right? Enterprise communication systems and streamlined data management. But the piece that really I want to stress here is we also have our own in-house. So let's say if Salesforce is one of them that they're using and it integrates perfectly with it, but this customer may have just this little tweak that they want to do. We have our professional services group that can actually customize just little tweaks here and there for customers depending on what they may or may not need on the system. So there's that ability as well, but normally the packages are fully, our CRMs are fully integrated to the system. Screen pops, availability to put notes in, contact lists, the whole setup on them. So it is a full CRM platform, integrations platform. Any questions, anyone?
Thank you, Doug.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And that's actually all that I have. It's just a brief overview and kind of refresher for probably some of you to go through our different system types, but all of our new users, features, bundles. So please, any additional questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you, Matt, Doug. Thanks for going through that with our team.